Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here on my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. This is a new show I am reviewing. It's not a new show on the TV, but it's a new show for the channel. And the show is, and just like that, it comes on HBO Max. If you don't have an HBO Max subscription, that's okay. You could just watch these reviews if you are interested in them. Trying to find my glasses case. Anyway, before we get into it, please don't hesitate to hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on your bell notifications so you can get notifications of all the updates and the new videos. Share the video where you like to share your content, and comment down below. Let me know if you're watching the show. I know a lot of us hate watching, including me. So the reason why I'm reviewing the show is because I am basically hate watching it. And don't ask me why I haven't stopped watching it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just hoping it will get better like everybody else. But anyway, I've been watching since season 1, so I know everything going on with the show. I know I had asked y'all on one of my videos some time ago, months ago, if y'all wanted me to review the show. Somebody in the comments said they did, so I was trying to stick, even though I took a big break, I'm trying to stick to my word and go back and review it. So finally getting around to it. I'm not going to go episode by episode because we're already episode 9 now, and we only have one more episode next week. And I'm not going to review the whole series at this point, like I did Divorce Sisters. I'm just going to stick with episode 9 and add in any backstory from the previous episodes if we need it, because there's not a lot to the show. The episodes are short. The show is not that good. The writing is horrible. So we're gonna just get into it because I gotta hurry up because I got an order coming. My dinner is on the way. Anyway, so let's get into it. So like I said, it's and just like that, it's the new version of the Sex and the City series. The ladies are older. We got new characters. They're trying to diversify and all that good stuff. So anyway, so let's just start with season 9 and episode 9. Like I said, we're working the old stuff. So from this season only though. So let's just get Charlotte and Harry out the way. Okay, so Harry, he had prostate cancer. He had surgery. His his genital area basically swelled up. And so he down bad. And Charlotte, her vertigo came back, so she's dealing with that. So they're both trying to take care of each other, and the kids are supposed to be helping them, but the kids are not doing that. Those kids, their kids are ingrates. Okay, their kids are good for nothing. I'm sorry to say. So anyway, no one's there taking care of them, and Harry had told Charlotte earlier in the season that he got diagnosed with cancer. He didn't want her to tell anybody, and Charlotte had to deal with keeping a secret. And eventually, she told Carrie. And then Carrie told Miranda the dog had cancer, but really was Harry. And then Harry finally let Charlotte, told Charlotte's friends and apologized for making her keep that secret, which I did not agree with Harry making Charlotte keep the secret about his cancer. But, Harry's going to be okay. And it's all to the good. Anyway, there's nothing really else happening with Charlotte and them. Like Charlotte was trying to keep up with the young people at work, and it wasn't really working. And yeah, she don't really have too much going on. Anyway. And she's dealing with stuff with her kids and dealing with Harry. That was it. Okay, let's talk about Sima. Now, Sima, she's been dating Carrie's garden, Adam, and Adam said he don't wear regular deodorant. He uses some kind of crystals or something. He one of them like whole earth type of people. So she decided to try the crystal, and then the day she decides to try the crystal, she has this big meeting with I guess a potential real estate client, and he talking about the waiter was musty, so that she ran down to the bathroom to put on her little travel deodorant, and she put on deodorant in the restaurant the same way she's making fun of the lady for doing that when she was on a date with Adam, right? So Sima, as we know, the person she was working with in her real estate company, he retired, and I guess he sold his shares to somebody else in the company instead of just leaving everything to Sima. It was kind of weird, but anyway. Sima decided to leave that because they weren't going to give her like equal partnership name in the real estate firm. She decided to leave and start her own firm. But Sima been going through it. She had to give up a lot of her expenses. She had to let her car service go Child didn't know how to take an Uber though. Sima wasn't taking an Uber. She walking everywhere. She going to get her lashes done at weird places. I was like, Sima, girl, just take an Uber or a cab and move on. Like, I didn't understand all that, but Sima was a little bit struggling, but she got her own law firm now and got her own space, as we see in this episode. So good for her. She said she used her savings because she was acting like these last several episodes like she didn't have no savings. Like times was hard. So I didn't know what was going on with Sima, but good for her. She's hitting it off with Adam. Her and Adam have their differences, but hopefully it works out because our girl Sima, she been going through it with the dating and the love life. Okay. Side note, I love that scene a few episodes when Sima was going on dates with those guys and she was just like clocking them or everything they said, and she's like, "Okay, let me guess, you're gonna do that." I was cracking up because I feel like I would be doing that too, because I just don't have time for people to be playing and wasting time. So I'm glad Sima is finding love again. All right, because she broke up with that director dude in the beginning of the season. So anyway, enough of Sima. She took Carrie to see the new space and all that. She got her an assistant. Good for her. Okay, my food not here yet. Good. So moving on, let's talk about Miranda. So Miranda been struggling with her alcohol, but she don't want to tell Joy because Miranda's finally dating the girl from her job, Joy. The girl, she's from like London or something. So for the BBC, the girl from the BBC. And so her and Joy are dating, and Joy had went to Canada or somewhere and brought back some kind of gin. You know how like when you travel and you get like a special alcohol that's only made in that place. She brought back like a big bottle like that. And so she wanted to leave it at Miranda's house. And she says she normally don't do that with her other girlfriends. So Miranda didn't tell the girl that she's an alcoholic because she didn't want to like, put a wet blanket on their relationship. They're having fun. She just feels like it was like, ooh, you're a girl. Like, I won't be telling that. So then, Miranda, she's getting tempted with the alcohol. She's going to try the gin. But then she ended up not doing it and poured it down the sink, and then she threw the alcohol down the trash chute. And then she tried to blame the cleaning lady for stealing it. And then she finally came clean and told her, like, Joy, girl, you know what? I'm an alcoholic, really. And I can't be having alcohol around me. And so Joy said, well, really, I'll be drinking alcohol so I can cover up, not think about the bad things about myself. And, a lot of people go through that. And so she said, it's not fun to have to talk about my baggage either. And so Miranda says she got room for the baggage. Basically, they get a little more serious and they say, girl, I'll take you flaws and all. Girl, if you take me flaws and all. That's all they was given. Now in the beginning of the season, Miranda was just she's trying to find love in a hopeless place. She thought the lady at the Mexican restaurant serving the guacamole was available to her, the lady, because they were like the same reality show. And she's like, girl, no, I'm married with kids. Like, no. So then she ended up going on a date with Rosie O'Donnell, and Rosie O'Donnell was a nun. It was like she was crashing out in the beginning, but she finally found some love with Joy. Okay, girl. And she had Joy meet Brady, and Brady met the dogs, and good for them. All right, and that's pretty much it for Miranda. Oh yeah, Miranda was living in an Airbnb, and I have no clue why, but she finally got her an apartment. Side note, what happened to Nyla's character? Where did Nyla go? I don't remember them saying she was moving away or doing something. I don't remember, but y'all let me know if y'all remember what happened with Nyla's character, if you remember in the comments. Let's talk about LTW. We'll get to Carrie last because we got a lot to talk about when it comes to Carrie. LTW, she's trying to get this documentary off the ground. Her assistant left her, or her editor left to go work with like Steve McQueen or some other big person, and she didn't want her to go, but now, she's okay with that. She has the new editor guy. He's married. She feels like he's flirting with her, but really she flirting with him is very much one-sided. She has a crush on him. She having wet dreams about him. Her husband, he trying to lose weight for his campaign. He said, don't put the fettuccine alfredo, the angel pasta, the cookies, the bread, get it out the house because he trying to lose weight. LTW, played by Nicole Ari Parker, said get on that Ozempic like we all, like the rest of them, and call it a day. They didn't really have too much going on in this episode. The main thing going on with her is that she thinks her editor like her, but really she just like him, likes flirting with him. And I hope they don't write it where she cheats on her husband with that editor. I'm gonna be pissed. Don't mess up Black Love and just like that. Y'all done already messed up everything else. Don't mess up Black Love. Okay. Anthony and Giuseppe. Basically, Giuseppe Italian mama don't like Anthony because he old. And they said the lady that played her in real life, I forgot her name, but allegedly she is racist in real life. So she not here for Anthony. She said she don't want her son with him. She got to leave the old man at home. Okay. And that's basically what's going on with them. Um, and Anthony, he has his bread company, the Hot Fellas. I think we pretty much caught up on everybody at this point. Carrie. Let's talk about Carrie and Aiden, because this is the part of the show that pisses me off. It has pissed me off. Okay. So, Carrie has a downstairs neighbor who's a famous writer as well, and he comes to live there. And that now, does Carrie live in a house or an apartment? I don't understand like the place she lives in. Anyway, because I thought she purchased a home. So if my New York people clarify for me, is that a house or an apartment or a townhouse that Carrie lives in? Where does she live now? Anyway, so her and the writer friend neighbor downstairs, he didn't like her click clacking them heels on the floor, and I didn't like it either. Carrie, how do you not walk around your house in house shoes? Why are you click clacking around in your outside shoes through the house? I just didn't understand that. And then she didn't even like the house shoes he bought her. Like, girl, they house shoes. Anyway, some of the stuff Carrie do don't be practical. It's be just no sense at all to it. Anyway, so Aiden came to town because basically Wyatt was to go to summer camp or somewhere to get his life together. His son Wyatt got ADHD. The mom wants him to take medicine, but Aiden doesn't. Basically, the son chose to go back with the mom instead of Aiden. And then Aiden's other son is out of town. So he said, let me come on back up to New York and be with Carrie. So he's staying there for however many days he can, basically out of convenience. Because, he wasn't trying to come back up to New York. He had all the excuses in the world blaming his kids. But he did need to be home because Wyatt was out of control. So anyway, so she didn't want, her main boo interacting with her potential boo, which is the writer dude, because she was hitting it off with writer dude. And I didn't like in the episode where it was Charlotte's birthday party when Miranda was trying to be like, oh yeah, girl, I see you hitting it off with the neighbor dude. And then Carrie tried to get at her and play in her face like she wasn't hit it off with the neighbor dude. Like, it's fine, girl. Like, nobody expecting you to suffer in silence with Aiden. Like, you doing that to yourself. Like, if you want to move on, move along. Like, girl, bye. I didn't like the way she came back at Miranda in that part. That made me mad. So then, anyway, Aiden is, sitting down there talking to the neighbor because he's threatened. Because, he forever going to think Carrie is a cheater. Once a cheater, always a cheater is his mind. So, Carrie find them having coffee. So she's pissed because she was like, I set a clear boundary. I did not want the two to meet. And she liked the writer dude. She don't want to admit it. And so, they swap their chapters of their book and, help each other edit and all that. So then Aiden, he trying to make them steaks and stuff. In the last episode, he trying to get intel from Sima and Adam about, how is he? So they end up having like, sitting down having coffee when Aiden was like, come on down. And so he's like, what's with the pipe? What's with the smoking? Because, he triggered by Big. He triggered by, when Carrie cheated on him with Big. And so, he, excuse me, he's grilling him and everything. So then the next night is the editing night, right? Now, already in the previous episode, Aiden manipulated her to get out of her writing session with Duncan. That's the neighbor's name. He already had manipulated her with the Wyatt stuff so that she would cancel her writing session with Duncan. This time, he went along with let her have her. He went ahead and let her have the writing session, but then he interrupted like, "Oh, I'm making steaks." You know how Aiden always doing the most. "Oh, I'm making steaks. I can make him a ribeye, a T-bone, whatever." And she was like, "This is not that kind of party. Like, we're working, we're writing. Like, go on." And he's like, "Okay, what time are you gonna be back for dinner?" And she's like, "We didn't discuss dinner. Like, we not doing all that." He's like, "Oh, we got steaks enough for him." She's like, "That's not what this is giving. This is a writing session." And the door's closed. So he's like, "All right." So then He went back, left the steaks all out on the table. I said, he ain't gonna clean up the kitchen. You gonna just leave my kitchen a mess and leave the steak out? You tried it. So he was in the bed. Carrie climbed all up in the bed. It probably was midnight or something. I don't really know though. And then he was like, ugh, go take a shower. You smell like smoke. I wish I wish a man would tell me to get up out of my bed because I smell like smoke and I'm bothering you, but you're in my bed. Now, granted, this is supposed to be Aiden and Carrie's house together, which really is a joke. Um, and Carrie got up out the bed, girl, and she went to shower, but she slept in the guest room. Now, girl, I would have kicked you. Supposed to kick him out of that bed. You ain't supposed to go in another bed, but okay, girl, if that's what you want to do. So then he came to find her and she was like, no, you told me to, to leave, so I left. So Carrie, she loved to be passive aggressive. That's what she was doing with Miranda. That's what she doing with him. She going with shoe shopping. She don't want to talk about it because he up there cooking breakfast the next morning like nothing happened. So then they ended up meeting for lunch, and then he was like, you know what, you're right, because she was saying like, no, you are doing like the big smoking thing basically all over again. That's not what he said, but basically what she was trying to say. And so he was like, you know what, you're right. Like I was, feeling a little jealous. I was feeling those same feelings. And he's like, oh, but you got to understand my position. And so then they got into it again. And then she tried to leave. Now, mind you, they ordered iced teas and the waiter brought them to the table. And then they walking away from the table. I said, I know y'all going to pay for this tea before y'all leave. Don't be taggy now. So then they get into it. And because he had said, I did trust you, or I had trusted you, or something. He used like the wrong tense for the word. He was like, it's just a word. So then she said, like, basically she broke up with him in his own way, because she was like, I didn't try to do it all. I didn't try to make it work with you. I basically moved out of my apartment for you. I didn't move mountains for you. I dealt with all your family stuff. And like everything I'm doing is still not enough. I don't know what else I need to prove to you for you to trust me again. And it's not working. And she was like, dang, I really thought it was going to work this time. And she's like, you have set all these boundaries and stipulations that you even yourself have not been able to live up to. And he hasn't. And mind you, he cheated on her with Kathy, and Carrie accepted that. And then she said that she wasn't having the expectation to be all in this relationship. So then that's why she pissed me off when Miranda was saying, oh, I see you and Duncan were hitting it off, because you told Aiden previously that you wasn't going to only be sleeping with him either. Now, did you only say that because he slept with Kathy and you knew you weren't okay with it, but then you tried to play like you were okay with it, Carrie? And it's like, girl, bye. Just be honest. Like, you too old to be doing the stuff you doing, Carrie. That's my thing. And Carrie also irritated me when she went to Virginia to go have lunch with him only instead of staying a while. Talking about, then they made her sleep in the farmhouse. Talking about, oh, I gotta let him know 24 hours in advance if you hear. Is that your house or the boy's house? You ain't gotta let your kids know no 24 hours in advance. So now you shouldn't just spring them on the kids. You could have been like, oh yeah, Carrie's coming for this day. She might stay some days, whatever. Now he didn't know she was gonna stay, but still, I was like, there's no reason that Carrie couldn't have just slept in the house with him. There's no reason. And then the little boy, he had a whole fit when Carrie was down there, and the whole Adderall thing, because Carrie was taking the Adderall down there and under false pretenses, child. It was a whole mess. Anyway, I'm just glad that Carrie and Aiden broke up, because this was just torture. We didn't need to keep doing this. This was just a waste of time. My phone keep flashing, so I'm trying to see if my food is here. Oh, it's almost here. Okay, so anywho, yeah, that's pretty much it. Y'all let me know what y'all think of the whole Aiden and Carrie thing. Are y'all glad they broke up? Did you want to see them work out? I wouldn't mind seeing her with the neighbor boo. Like, let's make it happen. But she wasn't being honest with herself. She was literally about to be long suffering, waiting on Aiden to come back. And everybody kept questioning her, like, except for Charlotte was like, girl, like, yeah, girl, it's gonna work. But you know how Charlotte is. But even Anthony was like, so what's going on with you with Aiden? Like, you won't wait how many years? Like, what? because she's supposed to be waiting until the little boy turned 18. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Aiden needs to get together. He does not trust Carrie when it comes to other men. And he did say she was right about that. But we're not waiting for you to figure it out with your son. And you just mad because the son, because you don't want to go along with what Kathy is saying. And you want things to go your way. And that's the problem. Okay. But anyway, let me see if they text me. That's pretty much it, y'all, when it comes to and just like that. If it's something that was just, mind blowing to you that happened on the show that you want me to bring up or talk about, let me know in the comments. We could definitely talk about it next week. We can definitely refer back to everything that's happened this season in the final episode, because like I said, next week is the finale. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me as I get back, or as I say, relaunch the channel, get back to reviewing shows and everything. So yeah, finally we are talking about And Just Like That. If you're a Love and Marriage Huntsville fan, check out my reviews for that after this one. If you watched Tyler Perry's Divorce Sisters, check out my reviews for that. If you watch Ready to Love, I believe that's coming back this Friday. So, get on the reviews for that as well. Welcome any new viewers or subscribers, because I know And Just Like That might be more of a different audience. So shout out to y'all for checking this video out. And yeah, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.